think they're going to be able to do too much here. Bushido's like, I was going to try and block him in, and then Clockwork's like, I'm just going to tango out and just walk away.
Yeah, one thing that Last Ronin are doing well here, Exile is just stacking it. That's a triple stack, I believe, right there. So these waves will get wiped out, and that's going to be a lot of denied experience, which is good for them, because as you said, they can't do that sort of double pull with like the radio can.
And Luna's doing very nice with her last hit. So is the lifesteal. Both of the safe lane carries doing quite well. 17 for 9 for the Luna and 16 for the 7 for the lifesteal. So they'll be able to pick up their safe lanes quite well. In terms of net worth though, you do have the Luna. Well, Luna was sitting ahead, not anymore. Do you think, looks like lifesteal is not going to be going for that minus you tend to see on a lot of the lifesteals these days, especially in the farming war. You tend to see a lifesteal go straight to that minus to get that additional gold and attack speed coming his way. But could Coronae Australis be going for this mid-time push and see the lifesteal pick up these cheap items? Maybe a drum or an armlet is a must on a lifesteal, but they can pick up these early items and start a heavy push with that death profit. They're going to be able to pick these towers down. And speaking of supports, even though that's a pathetic segue, you do have the supports of Last Ronin. They're smoked up, they're in the river waiting to come middle. Nighttime has hit, and this is their time to go. But unfortunately the rune spawns bottom and there's a race down to the bottom, so those supports have just been negated and they're not going to be getting there anytime soon. They're going to sit there for a while and wait till the Death Prophet gets back in, but it might be a little bit too late. Death Prophet might spec something's up soon. But then again, there has been pulled. She's walked back at the right time. She gets here with the Gale. Are they going to decide to go underneath? They will not. And there goes the end of the aggression. At the same time, the supports of Coronae Australis that found Soupy Twist. He leaps. It's only a small leap as it is only level 1, but it is enough to be him get out of there safely. He does have boots, whereas these supports do not.
Yeah, and we can, as you were saying before, regarding the lifestealer, we can see that he's skipping that Midas, as you were saying. He's going for his phase boost. He should get an early armlet, which in my opinion is a very good choice. And I feel like it's excuse me, it's going to work out well because they're looking to go for that more midi sort of. Yeah, they've got the extra push with the Death Prophet and stuff like that. So I think it's a better choice than early Midas.
I think they might feel as if they might not be able to take this late against the Luna. I mean, her Lucent Beams, her bounce from her Glaze, I do quite a lot of damage. Can pick off supports without pretty much any effort at all. So it feels like they want to go for this, as you said, that more mid-time attack. And once Death Prophet gets her exorcism up and running, what's the cooldown? It is less than 2 minutes, so theoretically they can pick off a tower every 2 minutes if they play their cards right. And Last Ronin, they don't have a lot to stop that. I mean, you do have a Venomancer who can clean up the creep waves quite easily, throw a Gale, get some Plague Wards down, you've got your creep wave gone. But if there's aggression coming out from a Death Prophet who's quite tanky, or a Lifesteal who's coming in out of nowhere, they can pick off those heroes quite easily and even capitalize on a tower by getting a few kills with it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's very, let's say, there's so much aggression coming out from CLM, but it's exactly as you're saying. And once Lifesteal does, once those towers start to fall, once Lifesteal does get a lot of that extra farm, it's just going to be so powerful. There is a danger of the Luna getting very big, and as you said,
might be seen to go onto Death Prophet here. We got a lot of damage coming out. He's got a Meld Strike up and available, but he doesn't have the Sideblade range, and he will decide to back on out of there. He did have another refraction up there, so I'm a little bit surprised he jumped out of there, but the supports were missing off the map, so I think it was a nice choice to make sure to get on out of there and not risk your own life, because First Blood still has not appeared on this map as of yet.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of aggression and a little bit of rotation.
Actually, a lot of damage coming down. Soupy Twist down the bottom. He's got to take the final few auto attacks, and there's the First Blood. Go into your Lifestealer.
Yeah, so Coronae Australis, they picked up the First Blood, and there has been a lot of, well, quite a bit of aggression around the map, and CLM wants to go on Jumbo Lags again.
And he's got the refraction charge. He's got 3 more if he wants to absorb them, but he decides not to, as it's easily popped down, and a lot of damage coming out from that Crypt Swarm. He's just going to have to bottle up and then get rid of all the charges of his bottle he just once absorbed from that invisibility rune, and it'll eat that Tango. So he'll be back up to full health in no time, but he doesn't have any additional regen left available to him. But there is a rotation from Soupy Twist. Can he land the arrow they so desire?
See how his Moran skills are. Hasn't That's a throw. So looks like Jumbo Lags will be able to get away. But I gotta say, this is that was extremely well played by Coronae in the bottom, and CLM there getting a little bit too aggressive around the tower. Still no arrow. I gotta say, this is a little bit. It's delaying it for quite a while.
And Soupy Twist, he's still waiting. He's got these two supports in advance right behind him. He's thought about throwing the arrow there. He did cancel the animation, and Daylight Vision has now revealed those two heroes up on the cliff that are up on near that ramp, so they have to retreat. Now down the bottom lane though, bottom rune, you do have the support saving that haste rune for the Death Prophet, so they get lucky there with the rune that will deny it from the TA, and TA is just going to be a little bit behind on the regen, and it will just make her a little bit more vulnerable to ganks. And the arrow comes right on through, goes through the goals, won't hit anyone, and now it looks like they might be deciding to go towards this mid lane, maybe pick up a tower. Exorcism still unfortunately hasn't been leveled up yet by Jumbo Legs.
Yeah, just decided to go for the extra levels in Witchcraft first, which, I mean, it's not terrible, but when you've got this sort of ability to push early, you probably should use it.
And I just want to actually mid lane, we got a lot of damage, got the hookshot coming on in, he cogs him back, there's no room to go for the TA, she's trying to capitalize on a kill before she goes down, not going to be the case. Clockwork's cogged will put an end to her life. But I just wanted to point your attention to a little bit of an error. Look at the levels of these heroes so far. You look at the supports of the side of Last Ronin, your Crystal Maiden, Venomancer, because they've been trying to consistently try to find players around the map, and due to their pools, they are behind on the levels by a fair bit. They're level 3, Rubik's level 5, Visage is level 4. They've been able to absorb the XP a little bit longer, and when they've decided move, they found something, or they just instantly left. Whereas the side of Last Ronin, when they rotated their supports, they were sitting pretty much inactive near that top near the ramp near the ancient camp in the tier 1 tower for the Radiant, and they lost out a lot of gold, a lot of XP, and they weren't able to do anything there. They're falling behind them. That's not where you want your Crystal Maiden and your Venomancer to be. You want them to be ahead of the enemy supports, because they're efficient early game. The later this game goes on, the more they fall off, whereas the other two supports of the Visage and Rubik, they just get better and better.
Yeah, that courier, that was pretty close. Still almost picked it off. But yeah, no, exactly as you said, you know, those, it's very important for those supports to get as much as they can, in terms of levels. Particularly heroes such as the Venomancer, such as Super Twist on the Marana, and such as the Crystal Maiden, because once you get those levels, you can really start to play on even more aggression, cause a lot more havoc around the map, gank a lot of these heroes who don't really have too many escapes, except for really the Lifestealer and the Clockwork. But yeah, falling behind levels, it's going to be harder when these team fights come around, especially when Death Prophet decides to finally push.
And we got a little bit of an engagement coming down. Super Twist, he's got Grave Shield, he's got the open wounds. Can the final auto attacks and the Soul Assumption be enough to kill him? Soul Assumption comes out, it's 4 charges. That is instant death for Marana. She tried to get her out of there, but that final auto attack gave enough charges for Visage to be able to pick her off there. And top lane, it looks like we might be seeing a little bit of a push towards this tower. There is a little bit of a group up from these supports. Finally coming back into lane. Level 4 on Bushido, level 3 onto the Crystal Maiden. But I think Clockwork can easily hold this off. Just throw down 1 cogs, and that's going to pretty much forego any push against that tower. You do want to have a little look at the net worth of the game so far. Life still is ahead with 5,200 gold. Not Marana. Luna is doing quite well at 4,600. She is able to keep up in the last hits, but she doesn't have a kill or an assist underneath her belt, such as this Lifestealer.
Yeah, oh, and looks like we got a little bit of rotation coming in here into mid. Jumbo Lags just seeing a tower. Still hasn't leveled his Exorcism. He's gonna have level 9 and he should level it by level 9. Super Twist
I
as
really
well,
like how Jumbo Legs is playing at the moment. I mean, he's been sitting consistently on this side, and here we go, engagement, and because he's so far away, he gets frostbitten, few auto attacks. There is a little bit of damage coming from Visage, but that's not enough. They do get a capitalized kill. Support for a Death Prophet is in favour of Last Ronin, and the hookshot comes on in. Got a lot of trouble coming from this TA. Will she be able to survive? Arrow comes on, Super Twist comes on, and he throws down the Starfall. That is going to be another kill gone the way of Last Ronin. They'll continue to turn us back away. Rylas, he's going to fall here. No escape. Will Kryzik be able to get on out of here? He's taking all the auto attack damage. He's running to his death. The TP support comes on in from the lifesteal and will ward away any further aggression. But that was a nice engagement coming from last round. They lost 1 to pick up 3.
Yeah, I gotta say that was a good turnaround. I'm not sure why Clockwork jumped in on the Templar Assassin with no way to reveal her, because she just melded and that's basically it for him. But interesting choice there to hook on in. But as you were saying, Jumbo Lag was,
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
he's been sitting around in a good position the entire time, sitting quite safely back. But when you've got 4 heroes, there's only so much you can do. Unless you go all the way back to the tier 2, you're probably going to die.
But the good thing with the position he was in, because he was in so safe, it forced the last Ronin to go so aggressive, and because they go aggressive, TP supports came in, and Coronae was able to turn that back around. Actually, no, last Ronin turned that around. What am I talking about? Anyway, down in bottom lane, Magi Bomb, he's taken a lot of right-click damage against Crystal Maiden, but now he has to retreat as they won't be able to pick him off. And mid-tier 1 tower is going to go down. We see a deny. The deny does come out on CRM, but he gets hit by both those familiars, and the Moonlight Shadow is popped to ensure the safety of LCM. And we do see a pause coming out from an unfortunate DC of Jumbo Legs.
Yeah, I gotta say that was a very nice deny there. If Jumbo has got that tower, that's a lot of extra gold. Already we do see the game is paused, thing is in a little bit of a way. But that gold graph, it's pretty even, if that. I believe Ronin
it's actually
is
spot on.
currently...
It's exactly.
I can't tell. I think...
You look at the bottom left where it says total gold earned. And you,
Oh yeah, there we go, duh. It's actually completely even. That's... Oh, I don't think I've ever seen it be exactly even before.
If being exactly even at this point actually means last Ronin's ahead, because that's a tier 1 tower that got denied, which means last Ronin technically should be ahead by now, or should be ahead in terms of gold. Unless it hasn't updated, and that will soon change a little bit. Because I mean, that is a dip down.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes after pause. And actually, we'll probably flatline for a while, because that's what happens with the pauses. But picking up the tower, it's all a good thing that Coronae shows did, regardless if you got denied or not. It does give him a little bit more map presence, the ability to move around and be a little bit more aggressive if they so desire. It also means that this Death Prophet can roam around and cause much more havoc in the other lanes as well. Doesn't have to pretty much be confined to the mid lane. But nonetheless, CLM, excellent deny there, I gotta say. Especially with the Visage familiars attacking the tower. Visage was there himself, and of course Jumbo Lags.
And when I have a little look at these items while the game is paused, you've got an Urn up on the Rubik, so they're expecting to be aggressive, trying to get Urn charges up on him, and that allows him to be a little bit more tankier due to those gauntlets gone in to create that. Lifesteal, he's got his armlet, he's working towards those drums, so as we did previously mention at the start of the game, he's going for that mid-game timing with those cost-efficient items of the drums and the armlet that also give them the move speed. And you throw the drum charge up on Death Prophet, she's going to be moving ridiculously fast. Ludicrously fast, I'm going to throw that out there. Once she picks up her Yule Scepter, she'll be moving, I think it'll be about 472, 475, somewhere around that area, and that's getting close to haste movement speed. Clockwork, he's picked up his Belt of Strength, so he's still trying to work towards his Power Treads. Death Prophet's got Phase Boost, she hasn't revealed quite as of yet where she's going to be moving into, as her Null Talisman was one of her first base items. Mechanism is almost there by Visage. He is only 700 gold away from that. Over on the side of Last Ronin, you do have base boots up on Venomancer, so he doesn't have nearly anywhere near as much as the supports do on Coronae, as they have been not only getting a little bit of farm from support kills, they've been getting the farm from the pool camps. Luna, she's got her Helm of the Dominator and Power Treads up and running on her, so she can start now getting stacks worked up. Which actually I don't see a Dominator creep anywhere, but she needs to get to that Dominator creep and start stacking up some of these camps so she can pull ahead in terms of farm. Mirana, she's got base boots and a bracer for that little bit of additional survivability. Tempo Assassin got that nice Yasha to give her the movement speed and additional damage coming out on top of her Meld Strikes, and she's got Fade Boots. And finally, but not least, Crystal Maiden with her Tranquil Boots and Braces for a little bit of survivability. But just by looking at that, you can see that Coronae Australis, they have a little bit more farm on the supports, and a little bit more farm on the supports can mean additional survival.